What's happening, loungers? I hope everybody's doing as great as I am this evening. Listen, guys, I had fun. Okay. I thought the show was great on LV's show. Shout out to him for all the effort that he put into the show. I mean, of course, everybody's going to have their opinions and different things about it. I personally thought the show was great until, everybody knows the infamous moment that Stargate hit the panel. Okay. Now, I would love to correct you on a few things, LV. And what I'm going to do is actually go through your last video that you just did and just kind of go over that with the sector and, give my thoughts on this and give my opinion on this. There are a few people that are live right now, so I know that the crowd might be a little bit thin this evening. But I definitely wanted to talk about this and just give my opinion. But most definitely, shout out to LV for everything that he attempted to do with the show. But yeah, okay. And I think what you're missing a very key element in this situation. And I would love to bring that to your attention. Okay. So shout out to you again. But I heard what you said on on the video that you just did. We're going to go over that. But I definitely want you to see some of the key points that you're actually missing. Okay. Because you're definitely missing some points. I get it. And I understand where you're coming from. But I think you're definitely kind of missing some points here. Okay. So we're going to get into that. But again, shout out to LV. Hey, my opinion, definitely appreciate you being in the building. Clark, I appreciate you as well coming in the building. The Godfather D. Darrell, definitely appreciate you as well. And you said I didn't watch, child. It was good. It's just once Stargate hit that panel, it just made the entire show go left. Okay. And I think that's the key point in this, that there's a key point in that matter that LV is kind of missing. And we're going to go over his video and just kind of react to that video. But Miss Thang, I appreciate you being in the building, sis. And Princess Sheba, definitely appreciate you, Stefan. You said you knew I was about to hit the go live button, didn't you? I didn't know. But hey, we can come over there too, because I'm pretty sure everybody has something to say. Shout out to Carrie Ann. She was just live, and gave us kind of a safe haven to come to after the bird dropped into the chat. Like, it was just ridiculous. So, but shout out to her for that. You said, damn, y'all about to make the Godfather do a live tomorrow on this. I'm just saying, like, it would be nice if, one of the men do, because this needs to be told. You know what I'm saying? This conversation, it's time for us to have this conversation, and just kind of put this whole thing on the shelf after this. But yeah, you said, I feel he missed the point on purpose and he's talking to us like we're stupid. I kind of felt like I was being gaslit, and I'm definitely gonna bring that up. So, give me just a second, because I promise I'm definitely gonna do it too. You said, good evening, y'all. Hey, Stephanie, definitely appreciate you being in the building. Stefan, make sure this is the actual Stefan. You said, yeah, y'all had to come to cover his no nigga splaining. I did my part for the night. Okay, you definitely did. You definitely did. You said, I'm fucking with you. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this hot topic, guys. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in. We're not going to be very long, but yeah, we're going to get right into this right now. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing the video. I do have an overlay, and of course, we're going to do this in fair use. So I hope that you don't mind that I do play the video. Again, I'm hearing what you're saying. Ain't no beef with LV on my part. I was very disappointed in how this was handled, and I'm a little more disappointed now after listening to your reaction to this, because it just seems so... I don't even know the word I want to say for it, but we're going to go ahead and listen together and just kind of react together to this video. Okay. And again, this is fair use under, Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, which is the allowance for fair use. Definitely appreciate you. I don't think you would have a problem with me replaying the video. Let's go ahead and keep it moving now. Shout Out to
All
LB.
right. So we're back. You know, pretty much figured I should do this quick little live. Well, I assume it's going to be a quick live because, man, it's getting late, man. And, anyways, I'm just going to go ahead and address this real quick. Verla, what's going on? Hey, Verla, look, it's a contest. Don't take it seriously. Don't take it seriously, sweetheart. I mean, it's not that serious. What's going on, Teresa?
Hey,
All right.
Joe.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do this quick little live just to address certain things and to not to my surprise, y'all, there's gonna be backlash when I did this king and the queen stuff, again, like it's expected, pretty much expected. So it is what it is. So before I go any further, I just want to make it very clear. I ain't mad at nobody. I ain't got no smoke with nobody. I'm not gonna do a whole bunch of bitches and hoes and punk ass niggas and motherfuckers and
Well, I mean, you wouldn't have any reason to be, feeling like that because I don't think nobody was saying like anything to that level to you unless there's something I didn't hear. But let's go ahead and keep going.
fuck y'all and all this
I mean,
other
I don't think
stuff.
it's
That
I don't think it's that deep. But okay, let's go ahead and keep going though.
is not the top of time I'm on right now. And also for the record, I get it. I get it. I
Now,
really do get it
I really want you to pay
with some of the
attention.
backlash.
I really want you to pay attention to this particular part of what you say, okay, LV, because this part right here is kind of like the missing key element to the issue that the other people in the sector are having. Okay, let's go ahead and just listen then.
However, though, I do think I have a right to at least come on here and defend myself
Absolutely.
real quick. So
Absolutely.
let's first off start with the Stargate stuff. Now, again, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. A lot of y'all do not like Stargate. I get it. I understand it. I kind of compare it to how I feel about the Al Laniers and the Vagodas of the world. When Al Lanier or Vagoda is on somebody's panel in the sector, yeah, I feel some type of way where they're on somebody's panel.
And what do you think the reasoning is behind that? You know what I'm saying? Let's stop here for a second because again, you're missing some very key elements in why people feel some type of way towards Stargate. It's not that people just don't like her. You understand? I want to take Star's words for this. When Star even said, and even what you're about to say, right? But what Star said herself, that many of the people that were followers of Star stopped following her, or they sent her very nasty messages in letting her know how disappointed they were that she was using the hard ER word, right? That they couldn't believe that she would do certain things like this and really chastise her behind the scenes. This was Star's words, right? And even you kind of get into this yourself. So it's a lot deeper than, oh, you know, we just don't like her. Just like it's a lot deeper for you when it comes to Al Lanier, which I have the same sentiments, right? There's for the longest time, probably since I've been a content creator, I never allowed Al Lanier into my chat, ever, not one time. And I made sure that it was very clear to my mods that he was never to be accepted in my chat. So I completely understand. And the reason why is because of his racist comments. That's the reason. It's because of how racist he is. It has nothing to do with him as a person. I can care less about him. I don't know him in real life, right? But what he doesn't get to do is come into my space and talk racist shit in my space. That's just it. It's the same thing with Star. We all have learned how to just kind of go around her and just leave her where she is, right? Nobody's making her quote unquote relevant. And we're going to get into that with what you said in just a moment. But nobody makes her relevant by leaving another space that she chooses to be in, and also that the content creator allows her to be in and to spew such rhetoric as she does by using the hard ER word. We don't have to sit there and accept that. We have decided to go live in other places and talk about other things instead of sitting here being berated with a bunch of, racist statements. I don't see anything wrong with that, right? I don't see anything, that's negative about that. I don't see how that keeps her relevant. Actually, that makes her irrelevant because we don't want to be in the same space. We're entitled to that. Okay. Just like you are entitled to. And as you're about to say, which I felt a bit gaslit because, like I said, you're missing that key point, right? That just like you do not have to be around a person such as Al Lanier, you don't have to be around, these other people that you feel are racist, like Vigoda, right? You don't feel like you need to be around such behavior. Is the same way we feel. It's not about liking her or not liking her because none of us give a fuck about that bitch on God. Okay, I'm just saying. We don't care that much. This is how much we don't care that we can walk away when she's on a panel. Now, let's go ahead and just keep going with whatever you were saying.
And yeah, I may make a comment in their chat saying, oh my God, why is he here? But with that being said, you, me, and everybody else got three choices. You can either A, stay and watch the show while they're on the panel. Number two, leave. Or number three, when the time comes, when that link is dropped, you can drop the link and you can air that person out who you don't like.
But see,
I personally done that on three separate occasions.
Exactly what we did. We left. Okay. Like, we did not tell you, get that bitch off the panel. We didn't tell you, oh, you need to get her off your panel, or anything like that. Now, what we do feel as a Black man who stands up to men like Al Lanier and like Vigoda for the reason of them being racist and using racist comments, right? The reason that we felt you should have had the same energy towards Stargate is because you would not give them a 2-chance rule or anything to that nature. This is the point that we're trying to make. Vigoda would not be able to hit your panel and start making racist comments, and then you say, hey, man, you go ahead and make sure you stop that, one more time, and I'm going to put you out. You wouldn't even do that with him. You wouldn't even give him a chance to even hit the panel because you already know he makes racist, disrespectful comments towards Black people and towards other people as well. You already know this about Vigoda, right? You already know this about Al Lanier. So therefore, Al Lanier would not get a two chance rule or whatever it is. You wouldn't give him that. That's what we're trying to say. It has nothing to do with liking her or disliking her. You are entitled to like whoever the hell you want to. But guess what? You are also entitled to have whoever you want to on your panel. And we are entitled to walk the fuck away and have an expectation, a reasonable expectation of someone like yourself who would so quickly kick off an Al Lanier or Vigoda for the same racist rhetoric. Do you understand? Like, you would do that for them, not quite understanding what the difference is between them and Stargate. Disrespect, racial disrespect is just that. That's just what it is. There's no, no gray areas. There's no in-betweens when it comes to that. And that is where everybody's kind of standing. And I don't think it has anything to do with whether people like her or not. We all sit up in like panels with each other, cuss each other out here and there, where, we don't like each other. That happens on Slander's channel. That happens on Poison's channel. It happens in a few places. So it's not like, this is something that's out of the ordinary for people. It had nothing to do with that. She literally led her conversation tonight on your panel with that word. Even though she didn't utter the actual word, she still insinuated the word, and everybody knew what she was talking about. And you knew what she was talking about too, to the point that you wanted to give her chances and tell her, oh, Star, oh, don't do that. Come on, Star. It's not like you said, like in this video, which we're about to listen to. Let's listen to how you said you reacted to her. Okay.
Now, here's the thing about Stargate, and I have said this on the Queen in the Sector thing, if you guys caught it. But I'm going to tell you guys something that I didn't tell anybody, and I didn't feel the need to tell anybody, and I'll tell you why. Back when Stargate was saying that hard ER stuff, I was on protest from Stargate. I unsubscribed from Stargate. I didn't watch her shows. I didn't go into her chats. I didn't even mention Stargate's name. I didn't mention her name from that point where she started saying that hard ER stuff. The only time
I'm not sure what this has to do with the respect level of tonight, right? Because all of us pretty much canceled her. And I think that's the point, right? It's the fact that you canceled her over that. And then she turned around and got on your show, right? And used the same rhetoric on your show when you should have just had the mindset to say, you know what, we're not doing this tonight. Kick you off, and we're going to go ahead and move on with the show. The same way you would have done with a Vagoda, the same way you would have done with an Al Lanier, because it's not different. It just isn't, right? The word is not acceptable, period. So I'm not getting, what you canceling her is giving us more energy to say, well, yeah, exactly. So why did you leave her on the show to disrespect, what you called a Queen of the Sector night? This was a night where everybody was enjoying themselves. I was having a great time. Everybody was having a great time. It was Verla's night. She got the win. And the first person up there is Stargate trying to take this woman's shine. Yeah, and you could see that, that's what she was doing. And trying to, make this about her. And it was just ridiculous. It turned, completely sour after that. And it had nothing to do with not liking her. It had everything to do with her leading out with the ER word, like it was okay. And that's just absolutely ridiculous that you didn't have the gall, or the wherewithal to get rid of that on your show while you're telling us you canceled her when she did this.
The only time I even mentioned Stargate's name
Now
is when it
listen
comes
to
to the
this
Queen of
shit.
the Sector. That was the only time I mentioned Stargate's name. Now, the difference is with me feeling some type of way and the other people feeling some type of way, Stargate, we have the same opinion on Stargate, that's fucked up. But the difference with what I did is that I didn't mention it. I didn't mention her. I didn't feel the need to go live and be like, oh my God, I'm canceling Stargate. I didn't.
Who went live and said that they was canceling Stargate? We said we not fucking with her. Plenty of people said that. But there were other parts to the live as well. Nobody went live for 6-7 hours except Stargate herself being mad that people canceled her. Like, that's pretty much what happened. So nobody did that. Everybody felt the same sentiments that you felt, right? Leave that bitch in the dust. We ain't even got to talk about her. As a matter of fact, when we throw birds in people's chat rooms and go over to either my show or Carrie's show or somebody's show, we're not talking about Stargate. We're talking about other things. She might be like a small snippet of the show, and then the rest of it is something else. So, yeah, I wanted you to be corrected on that. Like, maybe you should come around and hear us and know that, yeah, that's not what's happening. So let's go ahead and keep going.
Feel the need to make a video. I didn't feel the need to make a community post. And the reason why I did that is because in order for somebody to get the message, at the end of the day, your silence is golden.
Absolutely.
Because the more and more people talk about somebody here in this sector, especially in this sector, the more relevant you make them.
No, I totally agree with that, which is why it's baffling that you would put her on your panel, right? Knowing that. Like, you're the one that's giving us exactly what we're telling you, right? That, she is canceled. We're not fucking with a bitch that will call us the hard ER word and double down and triple down and quadruple down on that. We're not doing that. As a sector, we're not doing that. We're not doing that with Vagoda. We're not doing that with Al Lanier. We're not doing that with her either, right? And you're even saying it. And so that is why it's baffling that she was not only allowed on your panel, but then was able to use that as well. Even if you, Even if you did that, like, it doesn't matter, right? You still allowed it to continue. That's the point that you're missing. That's the whole key element right there that you're missing. But let's go ahead and keep going.
Now, again, when I was on protest from Stargate, did y'all see me in any of her chats throughout that whole entire time? No. How often y'all heard me talk about Stargate?
I would not have seen you in her chats because I'm not over there. I don't watch her. Somebody has to like give me, like, if there's something that I talk about when it comes to Star, somebody has to point me to like a timestamp on a video or something like that to listen to. I'm not going to sit through 6 or 7 hours of that whore talking and her whore friends talking. I'm not doing that. No, sir. That's just not happening. So I wouldn't know who's in her chat, right? I wouldn't give a fuck who's in her chat. It doesn't even matter to me who's in her chat. The point is, if people have canceled her, as certain people have done, that's what we've done, right? And you're saying yourself, you canceled this chick. So I'm not sure why this chick was able to not only steal Verlashine tonight, but she was able to racially disparage the people of the sector. That was okay, to the point where you gave her a chance when you would not have done that for anybody else. That's all I'm saying. That's the way it looks. Okay. Now, you can say what you want, but that's definitely the way it looks, considering how, I mean, Oracle just a couple years ago got cussed out on your panel and dropped off the panel for much less than what Stargate said and did tonight. That's all I'm saying. Now let's go ahead and keep going.
Barely any. Barely even mention her. Because again, in order for somebody to really get the message, your silence has to be golden. And that's what I did. And unfortunately for a lot of people, that's not what y'all did. A lot of y'all just kept talking about Stargate, mentioning Stargate. Is even getting to the point now where if Stargate shows up on somebody's panel, lives have to be made just because Stargate was on somebody's panel.
Yes, LV. Lives are made to get away from that. Nobody wants to sit there and listen to themselves be called the Nigger word. Nobody has to sit and listen to that. We already know that that's what she does. So instead of being anti-Afro and telling you who you can and can't have on your panel, we just leave and go talk somewhere else. There's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, just because we go and talk somewhere else doesn't mean that the conversation is based around her. Okay, that's something maybe you didn't know, but now you know. Now let's go ahead and keep going.
Making her relevant.
No, you made her relevant when you made her relevant when you pulled her on that panel and gave her chances after she called us the hard ER and doubled down on it. Okay, yeah, that's what you made her relevant, not us. When we left and went somewhere else to discuss more relevant things, yeah, that's what we did, as opposed to staying and arguing and jumping up and down and screaming to a bitch who doesn't give a fuck, but to just simply call us the hard ER. You know, we have the right to go and do that. Okay, that's what happened.
But that's not what I did. I kept my mouth shut. But not a lot of other people was doing the same. So that's what a lot of you guys don't know. And again, I didn't feel the need to say, oh, yeah, I'm canceling Stargate. Because why? Because that would be pointless of me, because if I even mentioned Stargate's name, that would make her relevant.
That you're right. But that's how we feel too. That's why I don't know why you think there's this barrage of people that's just making her quote unquote relevant and talking about her. I don't know where you're getting that from, but you're wrong. Like, you're just wrong, period. Let's go ahead and keep going.
All right. So now let's talk about her.
Now, people might talk about her if she affects them, you know, or if she does something to directly affect them. But other than that, nobody's talking about Stargate. That's why it was, again, so baffling that you made her so relevant tonight.
Being on my panel. Night. Y'all, I have been doing lives in this sector for 3 years now. And it seems that a lot of y'all want to have amnesia or maybe have a bad memory. I mean, I don't know. But if you guys have noticed now, for 3 years now, since I've been doing lives, I've always made it clear anybody can come up on my show. Anybody. And one
except
of the
except Al Lanier or Vigoda. And the reason why is because of their racist rhetoric.
major reasons for that was because back then in 2020, when it was just AFW versus good guys, I mean, look, certain people can't go on certain people's panels like that. You go into somebody's chat, they'll block you. I have been a victim of that. Me being blocked if I go into an AFW panel or in Smoke Gang or whatever the case is, I will get blocked immediately.
I mean,
and I pretty much didn't like that. So once I started going live, one of the first things I thought about was I ain't gonna have no mods. And I want my channel to be a place where everybody can come, where everybody can feel comfortable being in. And clearly that has worked over the past 3 years because a lot of y'all had no issues coming to my shows because you guys
right.
know
So
y'all ain't
this
gonna
is
get
kind of
blocked.
where I'm starting to feel a little gaslit. Okay. Like, honestly, I feel a little bit gaslit at this point right here because what is this like? Okay, we all understand how your panels have been, how like most people are able to come to your panel. We all get that. But this was different. This was racist statements that were made for the same reason that you would not allow certain people to even attend your panel is because of their racist statements. Why is it different for Stargate? That has been the question. That's the $1 million question. It has nothing to do with liking her, disliking her, not wanting people to be on your panel. You're entitled to have whoever you want on your panel, but it's like you're speaking with a forked tongue while you're saying, I've canceled her, but then on tonight, a night that we knew, was for Verla, tonight, tonight I made her relevant when then I want to turn around and gaslight y'all and tell y'all made her relevant because y'all left and went and talked about something else, or y'all made her relevant because now, I'm you all are talking about her all the time and all this other weird shit. And it has nothing to do with any of that. Like, you're completely missing the point that we did exactly what you're saying, right? Nobody's telling you who you can and can't have on your panel. But if you're saying you have canceled this person and you know that this person creates a sour, space for the situation or, for the sector, based off of the racist rhetoric, I'm not sure why we're being gaslit about this whole thing. Like, we haven't told you to do anything, but obviously you might feel a bit guilty about it because that's why you went live to talk about it. Let's go ahead and listen now.
If y'all want to come onto the panel, you guys can't come on the panel.
And yes, you have always allowed different people to come on the panel. But again, not everybody, right? Because you would not allow Al Lanier or you would not allow Vigoda on your panel. You wouldn't. Like, we're not going to pretend you would. And it's because of their racist behavior. So that is why Star should be held to the same standard as all people are saying. That's all people are saying.
If I have that policy for everybody, why should Stargate be any different? Even though I was on protest from Stargate, I'll still let her up.
Because it's not Stargate as a person. It's what Stargate does and what Stargate says.
Be consistent with mine. I've always been about that. I've always been about that. I mean, like, out of all the crazy ass shows that I had, especially with those debates and the after shows, anybody came up on there's a lot of wild, crazy stuff. But for some odd reason, when I have Stargate onto the panel, like, that's like top tier level. Like, oh my God, how dare you?
But why do you think that is? You really honestly, in your adult mind, right? That's not in high school, that's not in college. In your adult mind, right? In your, what are you, in your 30s? Almost in your 40s. In your mind, you really honestly don't think it has anything to do with her behavior, with her racist rhetoric, right? That has literally forced people to just walk away, including yourself, as you're telling us tonight. Shout out to you for that information, right? But I'm just saying, we didn't know that, as you said, but now you're telling us about it. So yeah, I mean, I get it, right? You wanted to cancel her too behind her racist rhetoric. So this is why we had an issue. It had nothing to do with her personally. If she had never said anything like that, right? Had that the ER never came out her mouth and all this stuff, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But it's the fact that she did, to the point that you canceled her yourself. So I'm not sure why you're sloshing this back on us, like as if, you know, we're wrong for giving you pushback on the same shit you're giving yourself pushback over, because you literally told us that you canceled her for the same reasons we've canceled her. So do you hear yourself talking? Like, maybe you may have wanted to go over this before you put this out to the sector. I don't know, but we're gonna go ahead and let you keep going, bro.
Now let's also talk about the part where Stargate was saying ER. Well, not like the actual ER nigger, but she was saying ER. I told Stargate, hey, Stargate, chill out. Please don't do that. And for some odd reason, people saw
No,
this as if
let me
like,
say
oh my
it more
God,
like
like,
how you
why would
said
you?
it. Star, come on, don't do that tonight. Come on, Star, not tonight. That's what you said. Star, come on. I mean, yeah, that's your response to her. That's not what you just gave us just now, right? Like what you gave us just now was let's do that again. Let's do that one more time. Let's do that.
ER nigger, but she was saying ER. I told Stargate, hey, Stargate, chill out. Please don't do that. And for some odd reason, people saw this.
Now, you didn't say that with that much firmness. You didn't say that with at the time with, you know, that much, hey, Star, you know, like this ain't what we doing tonight. It was more of a oh, Star, come on. Come on, Star. That's what you did, right? So that doesn't sound like a person who is so, you know, disturbed by what a person has said about, you know, using racial rhetoric that they've decided to cancel them, right? And now announce that to the sector as if we needed to know. But the point is that you're letting us know all while you're gaslighting us for the same thing that you're doing, right? Like I don't get what okay, let's go ahead and keep going, because you definitely did not say it like that, sir.
This as if like, oh my God, like, why would you give her a warning or 2 or 3 warnings? Like,
Yeah,
why didn't you just kick her off?
Why wouldn't you just kick her off the same way you wouldn't do with Al or with Vagoda? I don't get it. Like you told us in this video that you wouldn't do, right? Those two people you would not allow to even go past the first time, right? So why does she get 2 or 3? Yeah, that's a very good question, LV, right? Why? What's the difference with her and them? I'm not understanding. Oh, because she's a black woman, quote unquote. So black people can't say racist shit? Okay. All right. I'm not saying that I agree with the idea that black people truly can be racist, but I can say black people can say some racist ass shit. Okay. Yes. And it's just as hurtful from them as it would be from anybody else. And sometimes it might be even more hurtful from a black person, considering the fact that they actually go through the same, you know, situations that and face the same things that I face, right? So that would be the reason why it hurts the most, because they don't even have the power or the capacity in this world to be an actual racist, right? Because an actual racist is someone who can actually suppress another race, okay? That is what a true racist is. So I can't say she's a real racist, but I can definitely say that she definitely has some hella prejudiceness to her, right? There's a hellified racist shit that she likes to say that anybody else would be canceled for. And so most definitely, yes, it is racist-like behavior, but I can't say she's a full racist because she's actually black. So therefore, as a black woman, she does not have any power in this world to suppress any other race. And that's just it. When you become a white woman or something like that, you might have that type of power to actually suppress another race. Okay. But yeah, that's just with that. But either way, it is very racist behavior, and the wording is very disrespectful, and it's racially disrespectful. Like, let's just be real, okay? Because the same things can't happen to like a Jewish person, right? You can't have those same types of conversations about Jewish people because you would be canceled for those things in all kinds of ways, right? So it should be the same thing with us, but yet we're having this discussion, as if we're wrong for, feeling the same way you felt for, you going and canceling her. Okay. That's what we did too. So why are we being gaslit again? I mean, explain that again.
Off right then and there. Again,
because I don't
a
understand.
lot of you guys have not been watching or may have not remember how my show goes. When certain people
I most
come
definitely
onto my show,
remember how your show
and
goes, considering that the Oracle was on your show, right? And literally, she said much less than anything that Stargate said tonight. And you literally kicked her off your panel in a rage, okay? So I'm not understanding, and I don't get it. Please help us understand the differences between those two. I don't get that. So again, I'm feeling like we're being gaslit. But let's go ahead and keep going.
they may be going over the line with how I want my show to be ran. I give them warnings. What makes this even more funny to me of me saying all this is because I did that with Smoke just 4 weeks ago. I did that with Smoke 4 weeks
Hey,
ago.
LA Rams.
Now I want you guys to go back to the
Clearly he didn't.
the King and Queen of Sector bracketology stream. Smoke came on there, Alan Logic came on there, they're over talking each other. I'm telling those guys to hold on. Now, when I first said hold on, did I kick Alan and Smoke off? No, I gave both of them several times. I even gave Smoke several more times. Yo, Smoke, chill.
Right. Like, I'm like, what?
And then it reached to a point where I kicked them off. Same thing applies with Stargate. Same thing applies with anybody. I did that with Oracle. I did that with plenty of people who I did had to kick off. You know what? As a matter of fact, when Stargate and Nikki was going at it on my show last year.
So, Laura Triggered, I think you have some things twisted, right? I don't think LV is extra sensitive and hurt by the critique. I don't think that, number one. I just think that we all go through that at times. But I'm not sure where you get the idea that any women in the sector are trying to cancel the men. It sounds like you're trying to start that kind of rhetoric and that kind of narrative. But there's multiple men that come out and support the women, and we do the same. So welcome to the sector, but you should try to get to know, the content creators and know what we actually do, because we don't have anything like that going on. Unless you can point out some women, there's some group of women who are out to turn the sector women against the men, because I don't see that happening. I definitely see where we've had various conversations, men and women, and we've come to really great understandings with one another with that. But as far as us trying to, separate men from women, that's in your head. Okay. So you can go ahead and get to know the sector instead of just coming with narratives, because we no longer do narratives in this sector. You have to have facts. Okay. No, right. You have a good day. And we appreciate you being here. You said, T-Pre, no, Oracle didn't get cussed out. She got cussed the fuck out. There's a difference. Okay. You said he's really talking to us like we're dumb. Yeah, LV, that was crazy, man. You said if it's LV versus Carrie, he's winning. It's a man's world. Well, amen to you. I'm glad that you have that opinion. You said, well, all the women should stop tuning in. It could be that simple, quite frankly. Well, I mean, it don't even have to be that. I think it's just a matter of, if it's going to be where we're just being disrespected, especially with the racial slurs, we can walk away from that, and you'll understand why people keep doing it, because nobody's going to tolerate that for the same reason that he claims he canceled her. Okay. So, I mean, I'm not sure why it's different for us. You said it's not a Carrie Ann versus LV issue. I agree. You said, did LV bring up the ER first or did Star? It was Star Chat definitely brought that up, which is crazy. You said one woman out here paying a lot of men is funny indeed. Okay. Hey, Redbone, definitely appreciate you being in the building. You said when Stargate turns on him, it'll be very interesting. Ciao, ciao. You said a joke. I'm not sure what you're saying, but you're like spamming my chat, and I need you to chill out. You said you laughed. You said, Lord Trigger, relax. This is your warning. Yeah, y'all can. I just gave him my final warning on that. Like, just I'm not even reading your comments or anything, but yeah, because I don't really care. You said if we don't matter to the men, why are you over here talking to us? Shouldn't you be with the important men? Yeah, I kind of agree. Like, I've been over here for 42 minutes and you've been like spamming my chat for the past 42 minutes. So I'm going to need you to like calm the fuck down on God. Okay. You said, if you prefer men to women, that's cool. Okay. You said, I don't know who is trolling, but you are hilarious. Okay. You said, you don't have to attack women just because you prefer your own gender. We matter to each other. I definitely agree with that. You said, we don't need you to explain it to us, but thanks anyway. We're talking about racial attacks today. This is your final warning. Mm-hmm. You said, Stephanie Collins, Miss Thang clearly has an issue. You said, we don't have to listen to racial attacks from anyone. 100. I definitely agree. You said, Clark, it was starting to try my nerves a bit annoying. Okay. And you said, Stephanie Collins, a new channel, both started on the same day, trolling, trying to find some reasons to be offended. Child, nobody cares. You said, I would have booted off for trolling, but I think y'all are doing the most with calling her a racist, needing to be canceled. Okay, so yeah, I can't call her a racist because again, she's a black woman. Black women just do not have the capacity or the power to racially hold anybody down or suppress anybody's race. So you can't, that's what the definition of a racist is, right? So you can't really call her that, but you definitely can say that she has some racist comments and some racist rhetoric. And, it's very disrespectful to our race. So I'm not going to pretend that that's not the case. You said, Stefano, well, luckily we don't have to wait on men to decide for us when we've had enough. Okay, I'm just saying, like, that is all God. That is facts. You said, Miss T. Pre, I was responding to that person. Okay. And you said, we can handle Star as a community, but Alanir and Vigoda are white outsiders. And you said, Clark. Okay. So anyway, let's go ahead and finish up this because I actually got to go. I'm tired and I got to work tomorrow. So let's go ahead and finish this up, guys.
Here, I gave Stargate plenty of chances. Hey, Stargate, chill out. And eventually I had to put Stargate backstage. So again, when she was saying, oh, ER, I was doing the same thing I've always done. Yo, Star, chill out. And what you guys don't realize was that I was getting to the point where I was going to kick Star off if she would have kept continuing.
But again,
but as you guys noticed,
understanding
Stargate didn't say
it became jokey, laughy. She actually told you need to become her friend and all this other shit in order for her not to say it. She doubled down and then you said, oh, Star, come on, Star. Come on. Like it was come on, Star. That's how it was. So what do you expect people to think, right? Like you can't expect people not to have that thought process with you when it came to this because of how you handled it, right? That's how you handled it. And I think people are entitled to their opinion about that. I don't think we deserve to be gaslit over that because that's literally how you handled the situation. Like we're not adding to that, we're not taking away from it. This is what it was. Okay? Like
hey. You are for the rest of the show. Because Stargate knows how I am. Stargate knows how I am. Stargate knows I'm not afraid to put you backstage or kick you off because I've done it to her before.
But what does that have to do with tonight? It's not about different. See, this is what you're missing. It's not about her talking over anybody. It's not about whether we like her, whether we don't. It was the racist comments. It was the racist rhetoric. The same shit that you don't put up with from anybody else. I am not going to separate that. Nobody puts up with racist rhetoric in real life from any fucking body. Why it's okay here, I'm not sure why we're even having that discussion. Like, I don't get it at all. But yeah, that is the reason why anybody is saying anything about this. Like I said, you're entitled to have whoever you want on your show. But why are you pretending that it's not okay? Like that, that you shouldn't have allowed it to even get that far, especially if it was a show about the women in the sector. Like, that's just it. And it was
What I
Real
was
night.
doing. But again, I get it. I get it. A lot of you guys don't like Star. I get it. I get it. And that's why I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not gonna call out anybody. I'm not gonna call people out their names. But I figured I just come on here just to defend myself.
Okay, well, there wouldn't be any reason to call anybody out of their name, and I think we're going to stop it there. And I'll put, you guys can go over to LV and listen to the rest of it. He did about another 10 minutes, but either way, that was the gist of what he was trying to say. Okay, and to me, I just felt like you were kind of gaslighting us for your actions. Okay, and at the bottom line is just take accountability for that, right? Take accountability for the fact that you canceled her behind racist rhetoric and behind racist statements. And then she got on your panel and made those same racist rhetoric, the same racist statements, and you gave her a couple of chances to actually get it together, as opposed to anybody else that would ever make racist comments and stuff like this, you would have a problem with it. I think that's the only thing that anybody is really saying. And you gave us that entire speech over your actions when you could have just been like, you know what, you're right. Even I canceled her, so I could have just not allowed her to do that. And that would have been the end of the conversation. You made this into something bigger than what it has to be. Let's go ahead and finish out these comments, and then I'm going to end the show, guys. I do appreciate y'all coming out tonight. You said Stargate knew you're weak, and she could say what she wants on your panel, and you would eventually put her backstage like she cares, right? She definitely don't give a fuck about being put backstage. You said LV is kind of goofy and intimidated by Star. He's literally starstruck by her. You said, oh no, not LV would eventually put her backstage after an hour of stuttering and begging. Child, pathetic. You said he is upset that women don't like Stargate. He gets it. I don't think he does, in my opinion. Yeah, because I think he don't understand that it's not about liking her or disliking her. Who cares? People got shit to do. Nobody gives a fuck about this YouTube stuff. When you cut this shit off at night, I'm pretty sure most of us are not thinking about each other. We're not thinking about what's going on, and all this stuff until it comes up on our screen. It pops across, a notification or something that we know that something's happening in the sector, right? None of us really care per se about Stargate, like honestly, right? But when it comes to this space, nobody's going to pretend that she's just this great person and that, everybody should have some type of respect for her. Yeah, that's what it is, period. Once you rub people a certain way, it kind of stays that way, and that's where she's at. She probably could have been forgiven by a lot of people, but when she did that hard ER, that was kind of it for her, and that's just it. That's her fault. That's not anybody else's fault. And shit, that showed in the votes tonight, over talking about her. But anyway, shout out to Verla once again for winning the Queen of the Sector. You do got that. You've earned that crown. You are definitely a funny chick. I really think you're funny. I can't help but laugh at a lot of your jokes and stuff. I know you get a lot of haters, but we all do. Every last one of us content creators get haters. That's one thing I would say, right? But you gotta entertain your audience. You gotta talk with your audience and kind of connect with them, right? That's the only way that people will really be able to, interact with you, is if you actually connect with them and you give them what they want. And what the sector loves to see is what you've been doing. We'd like to see you yelling at the sector and carrying on. You are funny. You are really, really funny. You have no idea. You're like a comedian. And we really love that. So shout out to you, Verla. You definitely won that Queen of the Sector, and it was great being a contender against you. And I actually lost that, okay? And I'm proud to say that when I did lose, I lost against you. So shout out to you, Verla, for winning. And I definitely appreciate y'all coming out tonight. Make sure that y'all hit the like button on the way out. And guys, I will talk to y'all later. Peace, guys. Thank y'all for watching.